you see this beautiful landscape. And you may think to yourself, that's a lot to maintain. Or you may think to yourself, is it really that necessary? Or, what's really the purpose of going through all the work to edge these lines out, to make these clean edges like this? And why, did you put rocks on one side but not along the grass? So these different questions I want to answer here. I want to really talk about the landscape and the design of it and the functionality. So the shaping of the grass. One, our blueberries are around. And grass is, excuse my language, a motherfucker. Like, it is a destructive, seeking force that seeks and destroys plants that it can choke out. And you might be wondering, well, a lot of people have trouble growing grass. That's because of soil, not the grass. Grass is very powerful, very adaptive, and I would say it's one of the most powerful plants on this planet as far as adaptability and strength. This shit can grow damn near everywhere. Literally. Grass. The thing that so many people struggle. So what I really want to talk about, though, is these beds and how I design them. So the reason why we got these beautiful flowing lines and not straight edges like that is because of the lawnmower. The lawnmower. Yes. So when I mow this grass, I mow it the same way every time. And how I do it is I start with the lawnmower right here and I travel along the edge of this path. I rounded this path so the lawnmower can easily flow around the line. The lawnmower can flow around that edge, cutting my edge for me and limiting the amount of work I have to do with a weed eater. So with the weed eater, I simply have to get the long ones that grow in between the fence. And I do that by going on one side, trimming it, and then going on the other side and trimming it down, just holding it close to. And I can go ahead and show you that process because I'm going to mow the grass, and I better do it before that catches up, because that cloud might just be rain there. And the reason the grass is getting out of control is because it's been raining a lot and I've been fertilizing a lot with the pond water, because those girls are just great at adding nutrients to water. So yep, birds are gonna want to be fed. Stump's getting low. Yeah, so on this note, while I'm going to get the lawnmower, I want to have a little side rant. Hi, Lucy. Hey, Lucy. Yeah. House plants are hanging out. It's a planter bus. So I discovered, and a little house update to you, because you know how I like to do those things, that in Washington you got to pay to get on the or to get your stuff on Zillow, because the only way to get your stuff on Zillow is through the MLS. So, and have like a listing agent. So I'm gonna pay a fee and have my house put on the MLS, and we'll get it gone lickety split and fast, because right now they're raising interest rates and all that stuff. So it's the best time, if you're looking for a house and you see this video, to buy this house, because you want to lock it in as low as you can. So okay, right here's the lawnmower, beautiful thing, weed eater right there, got some eye protection on, hearing protection right there. Yep. All right, let's get these signs out of the way and get the lawnmower out. The open house signs, we had the open house. Yeah, it didn't really go so well because, I don't know, Facebook you know, some of you guys might know I have a love for cannabis, and though that's not anywhere on this channel, on some of the other channels I have talked and been pretty open about that. Well, I was featured on High Times Facebook a couple years ago, and I was promoting a vaporizer because, you know, it's more healthier to vaporize than it is to combust. And for doing so, I actually got banned from advertising from Facebook for life. Not realizing it, I just thought they banned me from selling that product, which, you know, I was like, okay, cool, I get that. But when I went to list the house, it wouldn't let me promote it. Yeah, so that kind of like draws it back a bit from the exposure you can get. So between the signs and Facebook, we haven't had an offer yet, but we will soon. All right, let's get this lawnmower up. If you notice, I put everything in here so I can get that in and out fairly simple and easily with all the stuff that I have in here. Oh, one handy thing I want to show you real quick when it comes to heat shrink. Heat shrink can be your friend. So this saw right here, right? The cord, as you can see, was really chewed up. So I took the heat shrink and I went across all the bad parts and I added this waterproofing heat shrink to it. So now all those little nicks and everything are well sealed up. And then they had spliced a new plug onto here. And when I took the electrical tape off, it actually fell apart. So I made sure I made this like super strong where it connected. Yeah, that will be good forever. And one thing nice about heat shrink, it's made to get hot. So you actually have a higher melting resistance than what you would do on the natural insulation on the wire. So I really like it for that factor, especially like working in the engine bays and stuff like that. Like just throwing an extra coat over your wire of the heat shrink gives it a lot more like, well, heat resistance. So all right, on to mowing the lawn. Let's show you how quick this is. So right now we're like 8 minutes into this video. Yeah, and you see Piper's in jail. Check out Piper is in jail for the murder of Boomba video. I just posted that. Yeah, so he was being really aggressive. Yesterday he like knocked out his dad cold, and that's how I realized, oh, he's the one who has actually killed Boomba. So yeah, we're gonna try and calm him down a little bit. Yeah, it's hailing right now. You see that? See, I told you about that cloud. Yeah, I told you. Yeah, you don't get much chance here to get shit done. You really don't. Prana, what are you doing out of the yard? See, Nicole's like, can you please put that part on the stump? The stump's ugly. But like, it's here to block the dogs from going in and out. And that's where it should stay. Alright, we're going to cut this video short because obviously I can't mow at the moment.
Alrighty, that freak rain passed on by. That's crazy. Hail, rain, just a cloud comes over, like we're in the middle of making a video and boom, weather changes. And now, hey, bright, sunny, like nothing was going on. Alright, let's get back at it like a smack addict. Right? Okay. Alright. Up the door we go. Isn't that crazy how I just like came in, boom, weather just changed, and then now it's back. Now it's back. We still, let's take a look here, see how much time we got.
It looks like there's a little bit of grayness maybe coming again. So what I'm gonna do is set you guys up, since I already had to break the video up. Set you guys up here, and what I'm gonna do is just put you on a fast motion, so we'll speed this up a little bit, do a time lapse, and we'll add that in. So here we go. You'll see the process of me mowing the yard. And look at that. See how quick that was? I mean, I know I had it on time lapse and it made me seem like it was super fast, but it really was super fast. It literally only took me like 3 minutes to do. It's so quick. And having those corners, as you've seen with the lawnmower, how a breeze, I can just circulate around those and it hits the edge. Yeah, storm coming in. Yeah, it hits that edge perfectly every time. And you can even use like a pair of hand shears to redo the edge if you want, like just to trim them up here and there, like, you know, cutting the hair on your dog or something. But that edge is gonna stay for a long time. That grass, it's interesting how it literally will, like, if you just keep going through there and pulling the little tubulars as it sends them up, because what it really likes to do is send a tube under the ground a ways away from itself, and then it will pop itself back up. And when it pops itself back up, it'll start like a little, you know, it'll start a little bushel, a little clump of grass. So you'll see, like, that's what happens here. So like this guy here sending out these like little pups under the ground, and you get them, see how they'll pop up? Well, that's all coming off the same root going to there. And so as long as you keep pulling those pups out of your mulch when they show themselves, it's really simple, and it's really just lowers the amount of maintenance it takes. You know, I don't have to fine tune that edge. It stays nice and crisp like this naturally, because they're going to send out those tubulars, and we just come along and we, you know, see, that's just a little long here. They're not growing up. These, which I thought were little tubes popping up, aren't. This is all garlic. The garlic went to seed and it mixed in with the mulch, and so that ended up, see, look, see all this? That's all garlic. All those shoots are all garlic. Garlic, 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 garlic. So all these beds are completely loaded with garlic. But you can see, like, back here, so like when the grass starts popping up in to the bed, you just pull out those little shoots. Oh no, that was grass, okay. There's been so much garlic popping up that it's been hard to tell what's grass and what's garlic. Yeah, you just pull those shoots out, real simple like that, and then you can just throw them in the compost pile or wherever. It's like this, okay, that's grass. See, that's coming from a tube. So you just kind of reach down in here. This is how I like to do it, seek and destroy. See that? See that? That's the grass shoot right here that it's growing from. That's the tubular. And it's pulled that, because this will shoot a new piece of grass on every node. And then this is the young shoot that came from it. So we want to make sure that we get this out. Get down underneath it. There we go. Get that out as much as you can. And then, see, that's just grass coming from here, tubing, coming up. See? Garlic. All those baby garlics are popping up like crazy. This is a thing you can do. You make your edible things, you make the weeds that pop up reward you. So things are going to grow. You're going to have weeds regardless. Weeds are a thing that happens. Seeds get in your soil. But what seeds are going to compete other seeds? Well, garlic for one thing, the reason why they tell you not to let your garlic go to seed, you know, they don't necessarily say don't let your garlic go to seed. They say, hey, the best time to harvest your garlic is like right when it's budding. You know, you got those beautiful shoots. They make great, you know, they're great in soups and stuff. If you let them go to like a big full bloom, you know, they're not as tasty. And then the stems dry out, and the leaves dry out, and they're no longer that good. Hey, Lucy. And yeah, but the thing is, if you let your garlic and your onions go to seed, what happens is they drop seed galore. And that's actually one reason why they kind of, you know, it's a little hidden kept thing that is just kind of commonly said when to harvest, is so that doesn't happen. Because it's a lot of work. Like in industry, when you're growing multiple crops in a field, you know, because you're not going to just grow garlic in the same field. Once it goes to seed like that, it's just so hard to get it all out. It just grows everywhere. But the thing is when it comes to feeding yourself, when it comes to making, I mean, garlic goes for an expensive amount. Yeah, at least a buck of clove. And when you can produce so much so easily just by being lazy, really, that's one thing cool about gardening is it's like you'll learn things by being lazy and letting things go beyond what others would say letting them go is good. You can like benefit from highly. So you're probably wondering, okay, well, what do you do with this grass? So in this case, we have, ooh, look at that, ducks. The ducks like going through this, but it's wet. It doesn't make the best bedding. Now, ideally, you know, when we get the new land, geese. This is awesome for geese because geese are grass grazers. They really like grass a lot. But right now, that grass is full of nitrogen and full of proteins and fibers and all kinds of organic matter and sugars. A lot of sugar. And what does sugar make? Like alcohol. Yeah. And so what happens is you get fermentation. So sugar ignites fermentation. And that fermentation creates heat and decomposition because those are life forms that come to life. Yeast and enzymes and different things that just come into flourishing and exploding in growth. Yeah, so let's go ahead and close this one off. Yeah, you see, you got a good look at the shed. Wow, what a thing. Rain, no rain, rain, no rain. And yeah, so you see, the point of this video is how easy it can be if you properly shape your landscaping. Like, see here, the spirals in the garden. One, it makes it nice to walk through, makes it easy to go through, but also it actually gives us more area to plant in. And not only that, these rows, when it comes to having ducks, it keeps the ducks more in the rows because they like to eat the worms and everything that's in there. And these bare surfaces, because the soil's all amended with wood chip from the years before, because these rows get tilled in, these surfaces, they don't graze over as much because the worms and things aren't on that surface, which gets them to leave all the little shoots alone. So these baby tomatillos and carrots and garlic and onion and things that are coming up, because I tilled the seeds of the plants that I let go to seed. I let my carrots go to seed. I let radishes go to seed. I let beets go to seed. I let squashes go to seed. All these things that we let go to seed, this garlic, then that's so much less maintenance for the year after. And it's kind of neat gardening this way, because what I'm doing is I'm extracting from the garden. So I'm saying, okay, oh, there's a squash popping up. Well, do I want a squash to grow there or don't I? Okay, I think it'd be good to grow squash there, so I'll leave it alone. Or if I don't want it growing there, boom, I can pull it out, feed it to the ducks, throw it in the compost, whatever it is. I have a resource or I have a place to put that resource and utilize it. Whether it's adding and creating more soil from it, or feeding it to the animals, which turns into shit and makes more soil from it. So it's like, okay, who do I feed with it, really? That's what it bottom line comes down to, is who am I feeding? Am I feeding microlife? Am I feeding my wildlife? Am I feeding the fungus life? Am I feeding the duck life? What all am I feeding with this product that I'm receiving? And that's the beautiful thing about letting your plants go to seed and come back year after year. You just simply eliminate instead of adding. Seed's expensive. It's a cost. When you're starting a garden, you have to figure out your cost of seed. And when you create plants and you have plants that reproduce themselves, which plants do, see, these are all new shoots. If I don't like where these shoots are, those are perfectly fine there. But if I start getting shoots here, I can dig those up, sell them at market. Yeah, I just turn weeds into an asset. I make harvesting my weeds a benefit. How can we turn what we have into permaculture? How can it improve the earth? How can it improve humanity? So if it makes my life better, it's improving humanity, because I'm a human. And if it's improving the earth, then it's making all these things better, our system's working better. And if it generates surplus, adds more back to the system, perpetual motion, adding energy to the system. That's right, girls. And see, they get to live in this beautiful paradise with all this beautiful landscaping. And guess what? Now that I have this mode, I'm going to be building the gate here very soon, so you're going to want to stay tuned for those videos. And I'm going to let them graze because it's time. Yep, we're starting to build up some slugs. I seen a few, as we were doing this video, I seen a few slime trails up there while I was mowing. And those slime trails tell me that slugs are coming in. Now slugs are way more of a detriment to the plants up here than the girls are. And what do the girls love? They love slugs. So I just want to thank you for joining me in this video as I explain to you why I create this beautiful landscaping in the way that I do, and how it actually makes it much easier by having those areas cleared out. Look how quick and easy we can mow that, and we can trim it. It just makes it all a breeze. Functional landscaping at its best. And here in another month or so, blueberries are going to be coming in, serviceberry, honeyberry, we got elderberry, we got a magnolia vine which makes us berries, we got figs coming up. So if you're in the market for a beauty like this, look at that cherry tree, then hopefully when you're watching this video, you can make it yours, because this is for sale. Reach out, let me know if you want it. And it's going on the MLS Thursday. Today's Tuesday, so that is very soon. And it probably won't be up there for more than a day or so, because they're thinking about raising interest rates. And well, they're not thinking, they're doing, and they've already went up. So right now is the time for folks to get it before it gets too high. And it's the best time for me to get out, so that way we can continue this channel, grow and expand, and bring Asanin to the masses. So while that storm came down, I went inside because it was hailing and everything, and I sold some more crypto. Yeah, I haven't talked about crypto a whole lot on this channel, and you know, some of you may actually know that Asanin is a crypto project. So go ahead and check out asanin.info if you're interested in what exactly all that entails. But it's just living by permaculture. It's a blockchain that is backed by good deeds in permaculture. So look it up, get into it, and subscribe to this channel so you see all these videos and keep growing with this movement. Yeah, because we're doing stuff. We're changing the world. And how are we changing it? By getting back to nature, making things beautiful, creating, rebuilding, you know, making life this beautiful game of sustainability. And the Asanin blockchain and all that, when it gets going, because we're going to build it together, then it It will be our way of communicating and sharing all this knowledge with each other. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out till next time.